Hello beautiful Pisces, welcome back to your extended. My name is Jane and this is your need read of November. This is the second one. I do twice a day, once in the morning and the extended at night. Why the extended? Because I've had time to meditate of the cards that came out and everything they want us to look at. Plus I let them kind of, I always like to say take the wheel a little more, because I go on intuition and my knowledge with the first one, and then after that I kind of go in deep. Nitty-gritty, you know, let them come in, let the nuances come in and everything else that needs to come in to help you out here. If you haven't seen this morning's reading, I would go watch that first, because this one will make a lot more sense since this is part 2. Okay. I didn't talk about the bottom of the deck this morning, which is the Muse of Inspiration, which is the King of Wands in the regular tarot deck. I like this. It's really talking about the colors I was talking about this morning, all of these oranges, like the setting day, the setting sun, okay? The oranges are very prevalent in Wands because it's fire, but it's also just talking about the fact that we are really, I feel like it's setting the world on fire and letting, if you see the moon coming up, okay? Nighttime's coming up, and with it, inspiration, intuition, and everything good that's coming. It's really taking the lead. The King of Wands is an energy of taking the lead, a natural born leader. So I think that the way the world is shifting is that intuition and just a different way of being is taking over. And I am very excited about this. You should be too. This should make it, Spirit wanted me to tell you that this stuff that we're doing in preparation, it should make it a lot easier for you to navigate in your lifetime and be your authentic self. There were a lot of restrictions in the past, and there have been in the last 100 years, of how we should walk, talk, chew, whatever. These things have started to kind of loosen up, and they're showing me like an earthquake. And in that earthquake, the tower is crumbling and stuff is like clearing off. And by doing this, it's leaving room for new ways of thinking. The wonderful part about, and the sad part about humanity, is that we have short attention spans and worse memories. Okay, that's why it's important that whatever we're going through right now should be documented and kept. If you have to write a book about these times, do. Because we need a documentation to remind us of where we've been, because we forget. Okay, and if we take the visual reminders away, the next generation is in very serious danger of forgetting everything we've overcome. So important. That's why history, that's why historians are important, that's why perceptions are important, and everything needs to be written down. I wanted to add that because that came in really, really strongly. Okay, so if we have authors in the room, people who like to share, also make it simple to understand, okay? No War and Peace novellas of, 3,000 pages, please, with big words that nobody understands. You need to make it as simple as possible, okay? A lot of imagery. a lot of paint a picture, okay? So that people go, ah, okay? I find that it's better this way. There's a lot of people that you can look to who have done it incredibly well over the years. People, I guess you'd call them our ancestors, okay? People who have started this movement, okay? Wayne Dyer being one of them. And he's just one to name a million, okay? Karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul, growth, and conflict. Absolutely. See, this is what I'm saying. This growth that we're going through, all these relationships that we're trying to get past, this is just trying to make heads or tails of it. I really feel that. I'm going to read from it, but I'm not familiar with Orion energy. I love the Orion belt. I really do. Yeah. There. And usually have a hard time finding stuff in this book. Do not. Okay, so it says the constellation Orion is thought by many to have been placed been a place of great polarity and eventual unity. Some believe that many starseeds who were part of this cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now and are playing out karmic relationships from Orion's time. Perhaps you're one of them. Polarity causes conflict and highlights separation. However, because of this, conflict can also result in unity and growth. So, right. Okay, this is more talking about this, what I was talking about. It's going to be harder, this polarity, the stuff that we're going through is going to make it so much harder to hide the great big divides that have been created. Okay? Okay, so it says, too many misunderstandings are caused when we don't open our heart and mind and see things from a different point of view. When we go into reactive second-guessing mode instead of gathering the courage to open our heart, we should admit that we have reacted because of our own woundings and then find mutual ground. We are all innocent children looking to be seen, understood, and cherished. It's much harder to grow closer through conflict than it is to grow further apart. And yet, that's the invitation of conflict. It's easy to react, take things personally. It's more challenging to see the innocence of all involved and find a way to grow closer through conflict. It's through relationships that we grow the most. How can you soften your heart and drop your defenses enough to see things from a different point of view? How can you see the innocence of all involved? How can you learn to see similarities rather than the differences? Okay, so this kind of is a little bit of a throwback to yesterday, Pisces, when we were talking about having your own vibe in a room, realizing that people are not out to get you, they're just simply on their path and you won't be able to change them, okay? So instead of creating more conflict, if their energy is causing you, grievances, instead of turning around in revenge, try to find a way on how to live in your own energy and attract more of that energy instead of attracting more of the conflict. This is what I feel this is talking about as well. And that's the soul growth. Instead of an eye for an eye, we're going for, you keep your eye, I'd rather just keep everything that I've got. Okay? So that's just the way it is. It's like, okay, that got you nothing. Okay? Being this way got you nothing. So you have to kind of, this is like the old earth and the new earth. I feel that we're bridging the gap. Okay? It's almost like, it is like shedding a light on something that the conflict that this is creating is going to shed such a huge light on things that it's just going to bring it all to pass. Like, a lot's going to come to light. And it's going to unify a lot of people. It's just going to help the planet grow in a more abundant way. Okay? So it's a shift. It really is going to be a shift. So I'm going to clarify this with this deck. Before I do, Pisces, I just wanted to say, because I don't do, these days, I'm not doing a lot of promoting of my stuff, but I have affiliate links for any cards that I use. I get a little something if you use the links, of course, because they're affiliate, okay? It's like promoting stuff for Amazon, mostly Amazon. If I got them anywhere else, I do promote them anyway, even though I don't get anything. I've also got a Patreon page. Is growing. I mean, it's wonderful. We have a nice little group, and as it goes, it's getting nicer. And yeah, a lot of interaction in the comment section there, adding stuff every week. So if you want to be part of that, there's a 3, 6, and 9 donation level. Whatever you can afford is good. There's really no difference. It's just whatever you can afford. I don't want to gouge anybody, but if somebody feels like, if they want to donate and give, that's great. But as always, the best way you can donate here is just by being here. Clicking the subscribe button, clicking that like button, putting a comment here, coming back and being supportive. This helps my channel grow exponentially. It really does help me. And YouTube likes people who are interactive. So if you want to do a great big service to me in appreciation, which I will gladly gobble up, then go ahead and do that now, okay? All right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. I love this deck. The Wheel of Fortune, it's been coming out, it came out twice now, okay? This is 2 different decks. there's the wheel. What does that mean? It means that this is, when a card comes out twice, it's telling you that this is a serious thing. It's a major arcana, first of all, and it's a major turning point. It's a growth spurt. It's like shooting us into the stratosphere. It almost looks like in this card. And it's like 1 foot. Again, it's that 1 foot. Okay, they keep showing me like a progression, like hopscotch. You know, you go 1 and then you put feet on 2 and then 1 and then feet on 2. They're showing me like a hopscotch, and we're at the 1 where there's only 1 foot. The Page of Pentacles does the same thing, and it hits me always the same way every time I see it. Is sometimes we feel like we're doing leaps and bounds, and sometimes we feel like we're just, you know, slowing down and only, you know, moving forward on 1 foot. This would be the time, but this is a time for you to really work on yourself. Again, they're reiterating that all these need reads is for you to go in and see the bigger picture, okay? To prepare yourself, to get all your, you know, all your tools in line of your greatest strengths, like a superhero. You know, I have my almighty hammer like Thor, and, you know, I have my mask of, you know, so that people can't read my mind, you know, and you have all of that. I know it's corny to use that, but it's the best way I can see it, okay? You have all your bag of goodies, all your stuff that you can rely on. You are the ultimate superhero. You have a lot of things available to you to help out in the world that we live in, to create your own magic, and to live happy, okay? It's not all about like giving it all. It's not about self-sacrifice here. The hero's journey is all about self-sacrifice, but it's not really at this point. They want you to lead by example, and you want to be happy. You want to find your alignment, your true north. Okay, you want to figure it out. That's right. You have the Four of Cups. You don't want to be stagnant. You don't want to be stopped. You want to figure out what you really, really want. And this is your time to take the time to figure that out. Okay? You don't need to be like pushing in. You don't need to be worried about like, oh, I won't have time. You do have time, but this is the time they're giving you. Okay? It's time to like really examine the situation and decide what you need to do to make your life better, more stable, what negative energies you need to release, okay? What part of the cycle are you at? And what needs to be expanded, changed, or removed completely, okay? Like, there's definitely a bulb for you. You just got to figure out which one, okay? What's your authentic self? What do you want out of life, okay? Yeah, they're asking me to tell you. Write it down. Where do you think you are in this cycle of your life? Are you like at the healing phase? Are you at the new phase? Are you at the, you know, going on a new journey phase? Like, look at all the major arcana. There's a journey there. You start at the Fool and you go to the World. They're asking for some of you who do know, like the general path of this. Where do you think you are at? Are you at the Magician phase, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant? Are you letting go of stuff? The Lovers? Are you harmonizing? Chariot, taking the lead and taking momentum. Strength, tapping into inside the Hermit, introspection. The Wheel of Fortune, are you in a cycle change? And then, you know, the Justice, finding that balance and seeing how you can get your own fair consequences. The Hangman, grabbing perspective. The Death card, a major transformation. Temperance, again, finding balance or patience. You know, the devil releasing all of that guilt and temptation and restriction, the tower shaking things up, cleaning it out, the star being illuminated and finding that alignment, the moon getting inspired, shining light on situation, the sun, clarity, success, the judgment, again with the change, releasing, review, and using everything that you've learned to go forward in the world, a culmination, a stepping stone before a new start again. Okay, I would love to know where you think you are at in the journey, because it's important. They really want you to always know where you're at in your own life, because it's going to help you move forward. Okay, when you have that, always that moving forward. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups. Lovely, lovely. We had the Two of Cups here, another double card, harmony, and we have the Empress card right behind it. So this harmony that you're building from the worlds, you know, the emotional conflict, it's going to bring, see, there's a 2 and then there's a 3. It's going to bring a lot of creativity, new ways of doing things, absolutely. Okay. It's going to give you the courage, okay? All you need is love. They're blaring the Beatles song. All you need is love. Love is going to give you the courage and creativity that you need to move forward. A lot of it is going to just... It's going to come from within you. I know that love felt from somebody else really is the propelling motion in a lot of things, but this is something that's going to resonate and come out of you. It may be even you spiritually, but you're going to really connect to that part of yourself, and you're going to let it flow in. You know what happens when that happens, though? There's another 2. Okay, another 2. Another balancing, justice, 1, 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. A lot of balancing here. Okay, we're taking leaps and bounds in 2s, you know, 2, 4, 6, we're going. And I really feel that this just adds to your cup constantly. All of these things are adding to you to be able to give more, to receive more, and then to give more. And I love this Empress card in this deck, because she's being covered by water, and she's got the world within her. So I feel that there's going to be a great, big, wonderful thing to be added to the world by just this happening to you. Again, it's downplayed a lot, but they're saying it's all going to make sense as time moves forward. The ramifications of all the work that you're doing here is going to bring a lot more than you realize. And I like that. I do like that. I feel that this is bringing in a lot. I'm going to put them down here. But this is definitely the 2 cups, the 2 emotions. So we had the 2 world cards and the 2 cup cards. Yeah, harmony. Harmony within yourself. And it's also the card of attraction. You're going to attract a lot of that same energy, kindred spirits, friendships, equality, love, respect, sharing, harmony. Okay, a lot of that's coming in. And the coming together is going to create something new, the creation, the Empress. It's all kind of intermingling with each other. So important. Yeah. Another 2. I'm telling you, this like, it feels like, do we have all the 2s? I think we do, don't we? No, we don't have the 2 of Wands. No, we don't have the 2 of Wands. Alright, wouldn't surprise me if it came out, though. We do have the 2 of Wands. That's the 2 of Wands. Okay, we have the 2 of Swords, the 2 of Cups. What's missing? The 2 of Pentacles. Excusez-moi. Alright, so we have the 2 of Swords. Right. So, this is going to bring back balance. It's going to unblock emotions, of course. This time of contemplating is going to, you're going to go through all the 2s, is what they're telling me. All the 2s. All the 2s that there are. It's a very strong beginning. very important. What does she have here? Yeah. Oh, look at this. It's like the flag. Look at these flags. They're making me think of race car, even though they're not checkered. And I feel like there's a big cross on them, like no go. Like no go. You're being delayed. Please stop, okay? Take a look at things. Things are different. She also has like sand coming down here. So I don't know, I feel like there's a whole bunch of confusion going on in this card. That's all I feel. And I feel that that's the world outside sometimes can make you feel this way. It does make you feel this way when you're looking at things. You're feeling a little bit out of joint. It's all needed though. It really is all needed. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. This is a world of contrast. You know, some of us may be feeling like, why do we have to go through this all the time? You know, why, if we're meant to have such great lives, why is it always so hard? It's a learning platform. It's like school. It's not like school. It is school. Wow, that just went, ah. So there's the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, place to grow. Okay. So this is, the Queen is like the nurturing, resourceful queen of growth, okay? Making sensible decisions, okay, to produce sustainable progress. It's all to protect our future. Everything, you have to go through growing pains. If it wasn't notable enough, we wouldn't notice it, okay? That's why we notice adversity. That's why we remember the bad times, because they make, it's like a DNA program, especially in our humanity, of going, oh, that was not good. We don't want to do that again. So growth is important to remind us where we are and where we need to grow and change. Okay? Maybe not at this level all the time, because I feel like the paths just went really skewed at one point. It was manageable, and I don't even think it's in my lifetime, but it went unmanageable, and now we're just trying to, I don't know, do a little bit of a reset, I think. Right. So the King of Swords, okay. So the logical mind comes into play with this as well. You're going to have to use it to get the higher view. He's up on a mountain, he's with the birds, he's looking at things from a standpoint. So you're going to be using a lot of master energy, I feel. You have the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress. They're like very close cousins. There are a lot of creativity, a lot of grounded energy, a lot of moving into something new. You have the King of Swords here, who's like looking, taking, perusing. Maybe a little less of emotional king. We had that yesterday with the Queen of Cups being reversed. So it might be taking some of your emotional energy and just making it a little less so, okay? So it's asking you to tap into maybe your other energies, such as the wind, the mind, your voice, and just work with all of this to figure out where you're going. We're definitely in a cycle, evolution, change of where we want to go. We're looking at things, right? And then there's a Hangman, and it is upside down. So we're showing, she's looking at a different perspective. It's always about that, Pisces. It's always about looking at things in a very different way. It is always about that. It's always seeing if there's a better way of doing that. Yeah, I wish I could have more to say about this, but really and truly, all I need to tell you, Pisces, what you really need to take away from this is that whatever's happening around you in this conflict, it has been planned and needed to even get to a head like this, so that major changes were going to be needed, so that a reboot could come to pass. Because if things were just status quo and just kind of sliding in under the radar, as they have been for a long time. Things that shouldn't have been acceptable became acceptable for such a long time. If there hadn't been such an upheaval, it would have just kept going on the side of not moving ahead, okay? Actually, I feel like there's more like a regression of things, where this planet wouldn't have been a nice energy for anybody anymore, okay, regardless of where they came from. So this was very much needed. These karmic relationships needed to conflict. The world needed to be set aflame. Things needed to move, okay, for things to change, for breakthroughs to happen, for people's eyes to open, for them to look further in the distance. What I feel right now is a sense of great fatigue over this, because I feel like they're showing me a mess. That's what I feel. And you might be feeling that too. But the most important part, the thing that you have to uncover and bring back out of this, okay, is this. This is all you're required to do right now, okay? Even if for today, in the next couple of days. If that's all you want to do, if this is all you pull out of this reading, is I want you to look towards the future. Not to what is going on right now. Not what's setting in the distance. Not the setting sun, the setting situation of how it's been. Okay, it's time for that to close. Okay, just that is gone. Now it's time for you to look forward into the future and prepare for that. Okay? This stuff here, whatever's like, bringing the world into a heated climax, it's for you to pay attention to, but not really put your efforts and energy into. Your efforts and energy are something into the future. Okay? Because you're going to help build that future. Anyway, Pisces, that's it. I'm going to let you go with this one. And we're going to do another one tomorrow. So I want you to really figure out what part of the cycle you're at right now. And what are you looking at in the future for yourself? What do you want to build on? What are you looking at long term? What are your plans? What are you contemplating? I really want you to look into that, okay? I'm going to send you lots of love, light, and blessings. Thank you so much for being here, as always, Pisces. And I will see you tomorrow.